we are going to write. So
hello students, so here we are again to discuss the paper of JEE Mains which was being conducted today. Primarily we will be discussing the questions which came in shift 1 of the paper. As far as the paper of physics was concerned, it was definitely calculative, right? Conceptually the problems were not very demanding, but definitely it was a very calculative paper. So it will definitely take more than 1 hour, kind of 60-65 minutes it will take to crack that paper properly, right? I'll definitely take few viewpoints on maths from sir.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah, this was 4th day, I think. Physics, chemistry, maths.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So today I felt that the paper was actually of JEE level. Last 3 days से मुझे लग रहा था paper was calculative, easy but calculative. But today the flavor of JEE, we can say that the actual flavor came, right?
Right.
So this day was special. So when I saw the problem was really nice, right? So this was the feedback.
Yes, you're very right. You know, even in physics, if I look into the problems, there were few problems which are of the level of JEE Advanced also. So anybody who has got a thorough logical thinking process, only those students can get good score. So we will be discussing those problems with you, but it was a very logical kind of paper, right?
Yeah. Maths too.
Maths, right. So let us do one thing. I will be starting with the questions in physics and gradually sirs will join me to solve other papers. Okay, students, let us start and see what problems were there in physics JEE Mains paper conducted today, right? So guys, let us look at the first problem. He said, what is the graph of V versus U for a concave lens? Right, for a concave lens, V versus U graph. So we know that there is thin lens formula for lenses. Thin lens formula says 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F, right? This is the focal length, principal focal length or the second focal length of a thin lens. And I know for a concave lens, this is negative. F for a concave lens is negative. So take this equation as, write it as minus k. I'm saying k belongs to positive real numbers. I can write this equation like this. And then I will refurbish this equation to check that this is a rectangular hyperbola with its origin lying in the, or the transformed origin lying in the 4th quadrant. Relocate this equation. I can say that this is u minus v upon v into u is equal to minus k. If you plot this graph properly, you can see that your origin will come here, right? This you must have plotted n number of times. And this graph will be passing like this. 0, 0 won't be lying on this, right? And then there will be a graph in this section. So with respect to the transformed origin, it will be lying in the 2nd and the 4th quadrants. If you want, we can derive this equation also. Because I can say like V in this case is Y, U in this case is X, and if I solve this equation, it is basically 1 upon Y minus 1 upon X, that is equal to minus K. Check, this is Y, this is X, this is origin, this is O prime. And check, this equation is X minus Y is equal to minus KXY, right? So you can write it as X minus Y plus KXY, that is equal to 0. Now multiply, divide this equation by k. So kx upon k plus y into kx minus 1, that is equal to 0. Now what I can do? I can add and subtract 1. So kx minus 1 plus 1 upon k plus kx minus 1 multiplied by y, this is equal to 0. And check students, this equation. This is a rectangular hyperbola because if I take kx minus 1 as common in the first term, I'll have a coefficient which is 1 by k plus y. And in RHS, I'll have minus 1 by k. Now I will take k common out. So it is x minus 1 by k into y plus 1 by k is equal to minus 1 upon k square. you can see your origin comes out as 1 by k, comma, minus 1 by k, right? So it is kind of x prime y prime is equal to negative constant, call it c. 1 upon k square I am writing as c. That's what I am saying. If this is x prime, this is y prime, it is a rectangular hyperbola, y prime x prime is equal to negative constant. So for this rectangular hyperbola, the graph is lying in the second and the fourth quadrants because this is a negative constant. So this is how the graph will lie. As far as to check whether this will pass from this point or not, you can check that 0, 0 satisfies this equation in a tending way, although this root will be excluded because this graph cannot be defined for x and y to be equal to 0. But if you look at this equation, 0, 0 satisfies this. So upper and lower limit will be tending towards that point. So that was the core nature of the graph. Right, students? Let us move on to the next problem now. This was the solution. Okay. Now this was a very basic problem that came on a voltmeter. The problem said that a galvanometer, what happens when you convert a galvanometer into a voltmeter? What do? You take a galvanometer, which is actually a resistance, and then you connect an external resistance in series, and this device as such is called upon as a voltmeter. This is a voltmeter. Now, a galvanometer will have a known resistance Rg, and you can connect some resistance in series with this to make it a voltmeter, and then this voltmeter can measure a maximum voltage Vmax, which we define as Ig max. Ig max is the maximum deflection current that this galvanometer can sustain. And if Ig max flows in this, the total potential difference across this device is the reading that this voltmeter can measure. So it is Ig max into resistance of galvanometer is Rg plus the resistance of device which we are connected in series with the galvanometer to make it a voltmeter. So what happened? In first case, what you connected was R1. You connected R1 in series. This guy was R1 in first case, right? And maximum that it measured was 1V. So 1V is Ig max into Rg plus R1. Now, you refurbished this device and you again took the same galvanometer and now you connected something else in series so that it can measure maximum of 2V. So then this will become Vmax will become 2V, although the galvanometer has been kept the same. So Ig max remains the same and this gets multiplied by Rg plus a resistor in series which we need to calculate. Let's call that value as X. Now take the ratio. LHS has become twice, so RHS will also become twice. Ig max is same, so this box should become twice, right? So Rg plus X should be equal to twice of the upper box, which is Rg plus R1, and now you are through with it. The value of X can be written as Rg plus 2R1. You can see it will be written as 2Rg minus Rg, that is Rg plus 2R1, right? So that is how you can solve the problem. So you'll get the answer. Okay, it was a basic problem based on the maximum voltmeter reading, and that is Ig max into Rg plus whatever you have connected in series. If initially it was R1, now if the maximum reading is twice, this box should be twice, but Rg remains as such. So this term should be Rg plus R1. If this term becomes Rg plus 2R1, then only the purpose is solved. So if he says what additional can be connected, this answer X for me comes out as Rg plus 2R1. But out of this, already you have got a R1 connected. So he was saying what is additional. So Rg was there, R1 was there, and what additional? So subtract R1 from it, your answer will be Rg plus R1. So Rg plus R1 or G plus R1, A option is correct. What I have calculated here is the total additional resistance other than Rg. And what he has asked is, he has already said in first part that Rg and R1 are present and then additional. So obviously you have to subtract R1. Right, students? So a very basic problem that was there. Okay, now again, this problem was based on percentage error. And if you know the formula, you know x was given to you, you just write the powers properly. A raised to the power 2, b raised to the power 3 by 2, c raised to the power minus 1 by 2, and d raised to the power minus 1. If you remember, when you calculate percentage error in x, how do we write that? So simply we can say percentage error in x is actually, you have to add the coefficient and multiply, like it is 2 times the percentage error in A, 2 times the percentage error in A, plus 3 by 2 times the percentage error in B, plus half times the percentage error in C, plus 1 times the percentage error in D. Why these terms will get added up? You know that when you write percentage error, it is actually the deformation up to the maximum with respect to the least. So basically to find out the maximum deformation in value, maximum error in value, we add all the terms. That's why I have added all the powers. And if I write the percentage errors individually here, then I will get the correct answer. So he has said percentage error in A, B, and C and D were respectively. So if percentage error in A, B, C and D, if you give me 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, I will multiply this 1, 2, 3, 4, multiply this by 2, 3 by 2, 1 by 2 and 1 and get the answer. So whatever value you will provide it, appropriately I can solve the problem based on a very basic concept of percentage error. Right students? Let's move ahead. Now this was a problem based on acceleration due to gravity. Now you should be knowing that if this is the surface of Earth, we should be knowing the variation of acceleration due to gravity with height, if I am at a height h above the surface, and if I am at a depth d below the surface, I should be knowing acceleration due to gravity variation with respect to depth. Now what is acceleration due to gravity with respect to height? You know, there was one formula g0 into radius of Earth ka square upon re plus h the whole square. This is the basic formula. If you take binomial approximation, it becomes g0 into 1 minus 2h by re, but that is valid only if h is very, very small in comparison to re. And I cannot take that presumption before solving the problem. I don't know height will be less or large. So if I don't know, I cannot take the assumption. So I have to use this formula. This was important. You cannot write this as directly g0 into 1 minus 2h by re. I don't accept it because I don't know whether that height is small or not, right? So let's read the problem. Acceleration due to gravity is same when an object is at a height of r by. In fact, in this case, he has given that the value of h is radius of Earth by 2, which is definitely not small. So value of gh at that height is what? g0 into re upon re plus h is also re by 2, the whole square. So re cancels. This is g0 into 1 upon 1 plus half. So 1 upon 3 by 2. So 2 by 3 ka square. So 4 by 9. That is at a height. Now he's saying go at a depth. At a depth, g comes out as g0 into 1 minus d by re. You have to remember this formula. Okay? Then only you can crack this problem. This is not approximate, this is actual formula. Whether d is small or large, this is the formula. And now equate these two things. That's what he wants. Find out the value of d for which acceleration due to gravity are equal. So if you equate it, basically 4 by 9 comes out as 1 minus d by re. So you can find out the value of d by re. D by re comes out as 1 minus 4 by 9. So 5 by 9. And hence you can find out the value of d by re, which comes out as 5 by 9. Right? A basic problem. This formula is also present for small heights, but in this case height was given, which was re by 2, which is not small in comparison to re. It is comparable. So you have to use the basic fundamental formula. So students, this question was also lovely and you must have got the answer 5 by 9. Let's move on to the next problem. Now he says there is a hollow sphere. There is a sphere which has got an inner and an outer radius. So there is a hollow sphere. Let's take it this way. This is a hollow sphere. This guy has got an inner radius small r, right, and an outer radius capital R. This is my object. And he is saying this object is just sinking in water if if this is just sinking in water, that means weight of this body is just greater than, yet technically just balanced with the buoyancy acting on it, the upthrust acting on it. And what is the weight of this body? That is volume. Volume is 4 by 3 pi capital R cube minus small r cube into density of this solid. If this is solid having density rho s, density of this solid into G. And what about the buoyancy? Buoyancy depends upon the volume it has displaced. So if I put this in liquid, the volume that it will displace will be the outer volume, right? That will be 4 by 3 pi capital R cube, the outer volume, into density of liquid into G. That is what the equation will be, right? So 4 by 3 pi G, G will cancel out. Now he has also given density of sphere, this rho solid he has given. So capital R cube minus small r cube into density of solid, and density of solid is 27 by 8 times the density of liquid. That should be equal to capital R cube into density of liquid. And now density of liquid will cancel out. So now if you divide this equation by capital R cube, so 1 minus small r by capital R, the whole cube, this equation becomes equal to 8 by 27, which is 2 by 3, the whole cube, right? And now you can write down the value of, from this equation, you can find out the ratio small r by capital R very, very easily. 1 minus small r by capital R, the whole cube, is equal to 2 by 3, the whole cube. So you need to find out the value of small r by capital R. That's what was required. Find the value of small r in terms of capital R. This equation will serve my purpose, right? So again, a very fundamental problem on principle of buoyancy. Okay, now let's take the next problem. Now in this problem, what he said was there is a helicopter which was at rest on the surface of Earth. Now this helicopter started to escalate, move upwards with a constant acceleration of G because of the motor, because of the power of the engine. It started to move up. So if I assume that helicopter is on the surface of Earth, let's say this is my helicopter, right? And its initial speed is 0. It started to move up. And when it reached a height of h, it dropped a food packet. How much time the food packet will take to reach the surface of Earth? Very fundamental problem. So what I will do, first I'll analyze the motion of helicopter. It started with 0 speed. Now this helicopter reached a height of h from the surface of Earth. And it was accelerating upwards with the acceleration of g, right? There must be an upward force of 2 mg on this body. And weight is acting downward on helicopter. So net force was mg upwards, mass of helicopter was m. That's why acceleration was g upwards, right? So velocity of helicopter here will be v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So it is root of 2gh. This is the velocity. Root of twice of g into h. Now when helicopter was having this velocity, a food packet was dropped. If I drop a food packet here, this food packet will also acquire the same velocity. When I drop a food packet there, the food packet will have the same velocity, that is v is equal to root tgh in the upward direction as initial velocity, right? This will acquire this velocity as initial velocity. And now this food packet will be moving freely under gravity. So it will have an initial velocity. So my problem starts from this point that I have a food packet which is having initial velocity of v, which was root 2gh, which was the velocity of helicopter at the time the food packet was being dropped. So that was the velocity of the food packet also. And now this food packet will move under gravity with the acceleration of g downwards. It will come to state of rest. Then it will come down and hit the surface of Earth. So basically, you need to find out this time. And your problem starts from this place where t is equal to 0. Solve the problem from this place. Now from this place, if this distance is h, and I need to find out the time to reach here, the time to reach top, then top to bottom, and time you take to reach this point. Let's say the time is capital T. You need to solve for that. So what I'll do, this complete problem from starting point to top and top to the bottom can be analyzed by a single equation. Why? Because in this complete process, the acceleration is always downward g. So acceleration remains constant as minus g. I am taking a proper sign convention for this complete problem. And what can I say from this initial point to final point? If I want to use this equation s is equal to ut plus half at square, I'll say that displacement for this complete motion from this point to this point is downward h, so minus h. S is equal to minus h. What about u? U will be this v, which is upward, so plus root 2gh. What is total time? Total time is t, so ut aa gaya itna. And what about acceleration? Whether you go up, acceleration is downward g. Whether you come down, acceleration is downward g, and downward is negative gj cap. So I'll say it is plus half acceleration minus g into total time the square, so t square. Now it's a simple quadratic equation. What is that equation telling you? Take those terms on the left hand side. You'll have minus h is equal to t into root 2gh, and the other term is minus gt square by 2. If you take these terms here, you'll have this quadratic equation gt square by 2 minus root 2gh into t minus h is equal to 0, and now write the root t. It is minus b, that is root 2gh, plus minus root of b square minus 4ac. B square is 2gh minus 4, a is g by 2, and c is minus h. So basically 2gh plus 2gh, that is 4gh upon twice of a, that is g. So your t is coming out as root of 2h by g, right? Root of 2h by g plus minus the second term is root of, that is 2 root of h by g. H by g. See that? 2 root of h by g. So if I take root of 2h by g common, I'm getting a factor of 1 plus minus root 2. And you see this negative term cannot come. It is root of 2h by g 1 plus root 2. Why I'm saying negative cannot come? Because t cannot be negative, and that negative t will be telling you the time that was prevalent that it will take to move from this point to this point if it was moving freely under gravity. All of you know this thing, that what does the second root signify? That was a hypothetical motion. If motion under gravity was happening hypothetically before this particle reaches here, then that negative time will be the time before t is equal to 0 that it will take to go from ground to this point. But obviously we are not interested in that. We are interested in time after 0, so I will neglect the negative root. So my answer will be root of 2h by g into 1 plus root 2. What I have told you is something that you should know, that what does this negative root tell in this equation, right? So again guys, it was a very fundamental problem. So 1 plus root 2 will come. Okay friends, let's come to another problem. This says there is a sphere. It has got a total charge. This sphere has got a total charge of capital Q plus small q. And somehow a charge small q having a mass small m gets detached from the sphere. Somehow it gets detached. The problem is, what will be the square of its velocity when it reaches a distance of y from the surface of the sphere? Now I can solve this problem under gravity and without gravity both. If we assume, if G is present, still we can solve it. Not a big deal. But in this problem, the way options were given, he was assuming the gravity to be absent. So the technical point was, this was the guy who was having capital Q plus small q. This capital Q was present on this person and Q was here. Somehow it gets detached. Now they will repel. And this Q will start moving downward. This Q will start moving downward or further away because of repulsion. Why I'm not taking the motion of this guy? Because if this is heavy, the acceleration of that guy will be very, very small. It's like a small mass getting detached from surface of Earth. Right? Similar thing. In case of Earth, there is attraction, so this won't happen. If there was negative mass, this can happen. Positive mass and negative mass. Right? So in this case, what I'm assuming is, one of the guy will get repelled, the other guy will stay at that place. If it was comparable mass, then it will also get repelled. But because I'm presuming that mass to be large, the body which has got a charge of capital Q, it is not moving because of repulsion. Because of high mass, the acceleration is very, very small. So, when this Q charge will start moving away, I can apply conservation of mechanical energy. I will say initially there is a mutual potential energy which is K capital Q small q divided by radius. And when this guy moves away, and what distance it moves? It reaches a distance y from the surface. What will happen? This mutual potential energy will become K, capital Q, small q, and distance will be r plus y. R plus y. Right? And that guy will acquire a kinetic energy which is half of small m into v square. Simple equation you have to write. Presuming that this guy has got a mass m which is very, very large in comparison to small m, the mass of other body, and g is absent, then only this. We can always consider everything. You have to only increase the number of terms. And if this guy also starts getting repelled, we have to use another equation for conservation of linear momentum, which I have not done because I am assuming that mass is large. Now it was simple. You could have written it K, capital Q, small q upon r into r plus y. And what will happen is 1 minus r minus 1 upon r plus y. R plus y minus r is y, and that is equal to half of m into v square, and solve this equation for v square, friends. So we'll easily get this answer. Conservation of energy was the crux of this problem, right? You get this answer. Answer has been given to you. Let's move on another problem. This was a real good problem. There were two capacitors. Okay. How were they attached? There was a capacitor of capacitance C having voltage V, so having charge plus CV and minus CV. Then there was another capacitor of capacitance 2C. What was the voltage? 2V. So plus 4CV minus 4CV. Capacitance into voltage, voltage is 2V. Now they are connected in parallel in such a way that end of charge of capacitor 1 and negative charge, it's like positive of 1 and negative of 1 are on the same side. You can connect it whichever way you possible. But the language was, if I connect this with this such that there is a switch, and here I bring this other guy 2C with the negative plate connecting to positive, so minus 4CV and plus 4CV, they are connected and switch is closed. Now this is the problem. He says find out what will be the loss in energy. So first of all what I will do is, if this happens, there will be some recirculation. This positive charge plate will send some x charge to this guy. This becomes minus x, this becomes plus x, minus x gets induced, x comes here, and then this becomes plus x. And then the potential difference of both the guys should become equal. So in the final state, what will happen is, potential drop from left to right is CV minus x divided by charge upon capacitance C, that is equal to, and from left to right this is minus 4 CV plus x divided by twice of C, and C will cancel out. So solve this equation for x. So this gives you 2 CV minus 2x is equal to minus 4 CV plus x. So 3x comes out as minus 6 CV. So x comes out as minus 2 CV. And if x comes out as minus 2 CV, in the final state, the potential difference of both the guys becomes equal to CV minus x upon C. That is CV minus minus 2 CV. So 3 CV upon C is 3V. Final potential difference is 3V. So now I can say final energy of the system is half of the sum of the capacitances C plus 2C into final voltage, which is 3V the whole square. This is the final energy because both of them are in parallel. So half of net capacitance into final voltage square. Final voltage of one of these guys is 3V, so other guy will also have 3V. And what was the initial energy? Initially I have to write for both of them. It is half C. One guy was having voltage V, the other guy is having half 2C, and voltage is 2V the whole square. Initial energy terms I have written. Final energy I have written. And what is heat? Heat is initial minus final. Initial will be higher because whenever circulation of charge will take place, there will be spark. And there is spark, heat will be lost. Whenever charge flows in physics, heat has to be generated. And if resistance is not there, that heat is called upon as spark. So spark is generated. Right, friends? So initial, your answer must be initial energy minus final energy. Initial energy minus final energy. Right? So simple concept. Now you can correlate the terms and you will get the answer. Perfect. Friends, What I'll do is, before I move on to next few problems, I like mathematics section also to be discussed, because otherwise we'll spend too much of time on one subject. So I ask Maths sir, Shashank sir, to come and discuss few things in maths. If time permits, I'll come back again and discuss other problems of physics. Right, friends? Take care. Enjoy your maths session.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah. So, actually, it has not came into slides. So, I'll discuss problem through my. Some problem has come through my mobile. My friend has sent it. So, I will discuss it one by one. I take a few problem. Okay. Where I make a blank slide. Yeah. Okay. So there was a problem, a simple problem in progression and series. See, it was just the sum of a GP. You can see. Yeah, I'm writing here. Yeah, the problem was, you can remember, this problem came. So what is this? This is a GP, sum of a GP. There are total 11 terms and the common ratio is 3/2. So the first term, common ratio, number of terms 11 minus 1 divided by common ratio r minus 1. Isn't it, students? So it is 1/2, 3/2 minus 1, 1/2, 2 comes in the numerator. 3 power 11, 2 power 11 minus 1. However, there is a direct formula for it, right? That x ka power n minus y ka power n. So it is 3 ka power 11 minus 2 ka power 11. The question asked was a minus 2 ka power 11. What is a? So a is 3 raised to power 11. Isn't it, bacho? Right. Come to the next one. Yeah. Right. See, another problem is, again, again a simple one. Two parabolas are given, x square equal to 4y and 4y square equal to 4x. So these are very common parabolas which you see, and the common tangent, obviously the common tangent will be like this. Using symmetry, also you can say that the slope of this tangent will be minus 1, and if you take this parabola is y square equal to 4x, so minus 1 slope may y is equal to mx plus c, and c is a by m, right? So if m is minus 1, right, then this is what? A is 1, so the common tangent is this, that is x plus y plus 1 equal to 0. Isn't it, students? So the circle having center at origin will touch this line. It is possible only when, what is the radius? They are asking about radius. What is radius of this circle? Circle with center at origin. So the distance of this line from origin, that is 1/√2. This is the answer. Right, bachcho? ये क्या होगा most probably आपने? Now come to the next one. Again, right. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, student. See, the another problem, differential equation, very simple. If you can remember, okay, it was 5 plus e raised power x upon 2 plus y dy by dx is equal plus e raised to the power x is equal to 0. So how can we solve this differential equation? We can make variable separable form here. How? See, dy upon 2 plus y plus e raised to the power x into dy by upon 5 plus e raised to the power x. And we can easily write integrate, okay, dx here. So when we integrate it, ln of 2 plus y, and we can cancel this, because here also you will get ln log is equal to k, right? So this is the final curve, and the point is given, boundary condition, y is 1 when x is 0. So y is 1 when x is 0. So from here we can see k की वैल्यू जो आएगी, y को 1 रखिए, x को 0 रखिए, तो 6 into 3, 18. And what is y when x is ln of 13? When x is ln 13, e raised power x is 13, right? So this becomes 18. What is y? Then y plus 2 is 1. So y is minus 1. Isn't it, bacho? This was a very simple problem. Now come to the next one. Right? See, another problem I'd like to take. Yeah, there was an ellipse. 9x square plus 16y square is equal to 144. So today we don't have problem on board. I am writing it. Okay. So this is the ellipse. They are asking about what? Root 7 comma 0. See, 16 minus 9 is 7, no? This is a square e square, isn't it? A square minus b square is a relation. So a is root 7. So focus is at root 7. So focus is given, foci are given as point A and B, and they are saying that point P is any point on the ellipse. What is PA plus B? By standard property, PA plus PB is 2A. And what is A? A is 4. So 2A. PA plus PB is a very common property. 2A, that is 8. Isn't it, students? Yeah, so simple problem. Now come to next problem. You can see this you might have solved in the chapter inverse trigonometric function. Very common question of inverse trigonometric function. See, tan inverse of 1 by 3 plus tan inverse of 1 by 7 plus tan inverse of 1 by 13. Right, bacho? Up to 10 terms. I have to write the entire problem. See, what is the general term? General term is 1 upon 1 plus 2, 6, 12. That is n into n plus 1. And 1 can be written as n plus 1 minus n, isn't it? So this becomes what? Tan inverse n plus 1 minus tan inverse n. So from telescopic sum, the idea of telescopic sum or VN method, you can say the sigma of this is general term. So Sn is sigma of Tn, that you will get as sorry. So यहाँ पे you can see tan inverse number of terms is 10, so 11 minus tan inverse what? 1, that is pi by 4, isn't it, students? So this was the final answer, tan inverse 11 minus pi by 4. This is pi by 4, no? Okay, right. So we'll see the next one. What problem has come? It was a very simple problem. 9x square minus 18 mod x what to solve in this. X square can be written as mod x square. So mod x ki value you'll get two values, and it comes as I think 9. Simple quadratic you can solve. Plus minus 6 upon 9. So it is 1 plus minus 2 by 3. So 5 by 3 and 1 by 3. So x as plus minus 5 by 3 plus minus 1 by 3. Product of all the roots they are asking. So it is 25 by 9. 81. 3 into 3, then 3 into 3. So this is the answer. Right, students? Okay. A very simple problem again. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 integral. They are asking. A very routine problem every day. In every book you will see these kind of problems. So there is a property minus a to a, 0 to a, fx plus f of minus x, and here fx plus f of minus x will come as 1. You can add. So 0 to pi by 2, 1 dx. Answer is pi by 2. Right, students? Yeah. You can see the next one. Okay. I'm taking one more problem just. 4x square, because there are few problems which are to be discussed in chemistry also now. So this ellipse is given. The point P is on this ellipse is farthest from the point Q. See, we can change it in the proper standard form. This is the ellipse, right? And this is 0, 2, obviously. This is 0, minus 2. And the point 0, 4, Q, 0, minus 4. Q is here. They are asking that Q is farthest from the point P. P, where is P? P कहाँ पे है? Q से सबसे दूर. Obviously, P यहाँ होना चाहिए. ऐसा लग रहा है ना? देखो, common, जो normal होता है ना? So P is this, obviously. The point farthest to Q must be here. Q is here. And this is what? What is PQ square? Final, we have to find PQ square. This is 6 square, that is 36, is the direct answer. So, student, there are some other problems also. But here I would like to invite JP sir, discuss few problems in chemistry also. Yeah, JP sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Yeah, now let us start with chemistry questions. How many coordination sites in EDTA 4 minus? EDTA 4 minus is ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Means N CH2COO minus, CH2COO minus, similarly CH2COO minus and CH2COO minus. There are 6 coordination sites, this, 4 oxygens and 2 nitrogens. So it has 6 coordination sites. Now coming to next. Which is not necessary apparatus in acid-base titration. Acid-base titration, you need a burette, a pipette. You need a burette and a pipette. Burette, pipette, phenolphthalein as indicator, measuring cylinder to measure the solution, but you don't need Bunsen burner, you don't need to heat the solution. Rather, you have to treat the mixture at room temperature, and measuring cylinder is required, so Bunsen burner is not required. Next question. How many possible stereoisomers for PTEN twice NO2? PTEN whole twice NO2, it is a octahedral complex, platinum. Stereoisomers are asked. Now coming to EN, one EN here, one EN here, ethylene diamine, and two nitro groups are here. This is trans isomer, and moreover we have cis isomer, which is optically active, NO2, NO2, EN, and EN. This is optically active, means it will have a non-superimposable mirror image form, that is enantiomeric form. Cis is optically active. Optically active means two isomers, one dextrorotatory and one levorotatory, and one is trans isomer. So total there are three isomers. N2O4 when heated to give there is a printing error. It is 2NO2, and this reaction is endothermic in nature. And if the temperature of the reaction mixture is lowered, यहाँ पर lowered है, मतलब temperature decrease कर रहे हैं, तो reaction will proceed in backward direction, that is towards reactants. It is reactants. So this will be the answer. What is the structure of PCl5 solid? PCl5 in solid phase, PCl5 in solid phase exists as PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus. You can form it by considering two PCl5, removing one Cl minus to another, you will get PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus. PCl4 plus is tetrahedral. This is tetrahedral, and PCl6 minus is octahedral. Cl, Cl, Cl. So it will be tetrahedral and octahedral. So cation is tetrahedral and anion is octahedral. What is the crystal field stabilization energy for high spin D6 configuration for octahedral and tetrahedral complexes? Sorry. D6 high spin means weak field complex. Weak field in octahedral field, splitting will be this. This is T2G and this is EG. High spin complex, no pairing of electron takes place due to presence of ligands. So the additional electron will go to this, and from barycenter this is minus 0.4 delta O, and this is above 0.6 delta O. For 4 electrons, so CFSE will be minus 0.4 delta O multiplied by 4 plus 2 into 0.6 delta O. This comes out to be minus 0.4 delta O in octahedral field. But in tetrahedral field, splitting will be reversed. The 3 orbitals, that is T2 orbitals, are above and E orbitals are down. In this case, the electrons filling will be like this. Pairing won't take place, as it has been already mentioned. It will have this. And here this will have minus 0.6 delta T, and this will have plus 0.4 delta T, tetrahedral field. So 3 electrons in this means minus 0.6 delta T multiplied by 3 plus 3 electrons in that, that is 0.4 delta T multiplied by 3. This comes out to be minus 0.6 delta T. So 0.6 minus 0.6 minus 0.4. This will be the answer. Which is the correct graph for internuclear potential energy of hydrogen atom? This is appropriately drawn. Which is, in fact, answer is directly given. Find the minimum number of moles of O2 required for complete combustion of 1 mole of propane, C3H5, C3H8, 1 mole. This will require oxygen to give CO2 and 4H2O, means 3 CO2 and 4H2O. So 4 or 6, 10, 5 O2 means 5 moles here, and 2 moles of butane, C4H10, 2 moles plus O2. This will give 4 CO2 plus 5 H2O. So this would require 4 and 2.5, that is 6.5. 6.5 O2. Or for 2 moles it will be 6.5 into 2, that is 13 moles here and 5 moles here. So total 18 moles will be required. This will be the answer. The electronic configuration and magnetic moment of gadolinium 3 plus ion. Gadolinium atomic number 64 is xenon 54. Then comes 5D1, 4F7 and 6S2. And plus 3 oxidation state is required, means 1 of this electron and 2 of this electron will be removed. So this will have configuration gadolinium 3 plus ion will have configuration xenon 5D0, 6S0 and 4F7, and 7 unpaired electrons, as all the unpaired electrons are present. So mu spin only magnetic moment will be what? N into n plus 2, so 7 into 9, that is root 63 bm. This will be the answer. This is an organic question, CMC. That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
It was a great discussion, and I hope all the students must have got the glimpse of the paper that was being conducted today, as we have done basic discussion of chemistry, physics and maths.
Yes.
So again, the suggestion is the same. Those who are done with their JEE mains, they should start focusing on the JEE advanced examination.
Yeah.
Prepare for JEE advanced in a proper way, because you are done with your mains now, right?
It was just a qualifying exam.
Yeah.
You need not to emphasize on this. Whether you got lower score or higher score, it hardly matters.
Yeah.
You have to prepare for JEE Advanced, and that is more important.
Right.
That's it.
Correct. That's it. Yeah. So take care, students. So do some preparation for JEE Advanced now, and this is all about today's session. Okay. Take care then.
Thank you.